Welcome back to Low Stress Math with Mrs. Bono. We are on page 14 in your packet, reviewing the real number system. And the key to solving word problems is to read it and then go through and find all the numbers, underline them, decide whether they're positive numbers or negative numbers, and then go back and write a number sentence, decide what operation you want to do, add, subtract, multiply, or divide. You're looking for your key words to figure that out. And let's get started. In the Sahara Desert one day, it was 135 degrees Fahrenheit. In the Gobi Desert, a temperature of negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit was recorded. What's the difference between these two temperatures? All right, so I'm underlining the number 136 and the number negative 50. And I'm going to grab a red pen and I'm going to go over this number because 136 is a positive number, but negative 50 is a negative number. And the word difference is one of our key words from page 12. Difference is a word that means to subtract. It's right there, difference, subtraction. So I know that this word difference means I'm subtracting my two integers. So I'm going to put a little minus sign under there. Remember, there's a difference between a negative sign and a subtraction symbol, especially when you're using one of my calculators or your cell phone. So let's take a look at this. 136 minus negative 50. Now I have a double sign there. When I have a double sign, I can keep the first number and then add the opposite. I know a lot of people like to think keep, change, change. You're keeping the first number, you change subtraction to addition, and you change a negative to a positive. Keep, change, change. So now I have 136 plus 50, and I get the answer 186. 186 what? Cookies? No. You have to go back and look at it and say, oh yeah, I was talking about a temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. And now I read the question. What is the difference between these two temperatures? The difference, write a sentence, I know. Make sure you're writing a sentence that goes with your question. You're going to rephrase the question in a sentence. So the difference between these two temperatures is, and I like to underline it, so I put a line there first, 186, and it's a temperature, degrees Fahrenheit. Now you want to put the degrees and the Fahrenheit. If they tell you it's Fahrenheit, you put Fahrenheit. If they say Celsius, you put Celsius. If they use the letter K, that's for a temperature in Kelvin, but you got to put that down too. Whatever they give you, you give them the same unit in your answer. All right. During the summer, the height of the water in the pool decreased by 4 inches each week. Oh, each, very key word, due to evaporation. What is the change in the height of the water over 6 weeks? So I have a number here, and I have this word each, which I'm going to get back to, and over 6 weeks. Now, this is decreases. When something decreases, that's another one of my key words. It's negative. And 6 weeks, time is usually positive. So now, what am I going to do? It's happening every time over 6 weeks. Me, I might draw myself a little picture of a pool, and there's some water in the pool, and then it's going down because it's decreasing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And each time it's going down by 4. Now, I could add up all these 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blah, 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 6 4s. I could add those all up. Or I could use a little bit of logic and realize if I'm repeatedly adding the same number, that's the same as multiplication. So I'm going to go back and I am going to multiply negative 4 inches times 6 weeks. When I do that, I get negative 24. Negative 24 what? Now I have 2 units, and I kind of want to put them together, but I don't have to, because it says, what is the change in height? I need the unit for height, and the unit for height is inches. I have time also, I have 6 weeks, but they want the change in height, so the unit is inches. The change in height is negative 24 inches. And again, I'm going to underline that part of the answer because it's kind of important. Now, I could also write the rest of the sentence. Then change in height is 24 inches over 6 weeks. Then I get my time back in there, makes me a little happier. Over 6 weeks. Now, I could have written decreased 24 inches over 6 weeks, but I like the negative a little bit better. It's a little less writing for me. The next one, during the 12-hour period, the temperature dropped 48 degrees. How many degrees did the temperature drop in each hour? Now, up here, when I had the word each, it meant I was multiplying it. But down here, the word each is division. There's a few words that are like that. Depending on the rest of the number sentence or the rest of the word problem, that's going to change the meaning and what you're supposed to do. So my key word really is each hour, but in this case, it's something different. So 12-hour period, well, dropped 48 degrees each hour. So 12 hours, that's positive. Dropped 48, that is negative. And how many degrees each hour? Well, I could draw it out again. I could say, all right, I have my 12 hours, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then divide each one of these in half. Yeah, that's how I do 12s. Now that's 12, and I could say, all right, it's in 48 hours, and then try to figure it out that way. Or I could say, wait a second, I already just divided my number line up into 12. I'm going to have to divide my 48 up into 12. So I'm going to take 48, which is negative. I don't lose my drop. Don't lose your negative over the 12 hours. And I get negative 4. How many degrees did the temperature drop each hour? I could go back here and say, yeah, negative 4, negative 4, negative 4, negative 4, negative 4, and do 12 negative 4s just to make sure that it's 48, or I could multiply it and check it that way. But I'm kind of sure about this one. So how many degrees did the temperature drop each hour? The temperature dropped. I'm not going to write negative because I wrote the word dropped, and that's the negative sign. That word dropped means negative, so I don't have to put the negative. I'm just going to put 4 degrees each hour. Now, if I write out the word degrees, I don't have to put the symbol for degrees. I did that on purpose. Don't do both. If you write dropped, no negative. If you write degrees, no degree sign. And in here, it doesn't tell me whether it's degrees Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius or degrees anything else. So I just write down degrees. Mike was trying to gain weight for the upcoming wrestling season. For 3 months, 3 months, a long time, he increased his protein and calorie intake. He was 175 pounds when he started. Wow, that's pretty good. These are all positive numbers so far. Time and weight. When he started, and 3 months later, same 3 months, I guess I could underline it twice. And he weighed 190 pounds when he was done. Pretty good. How much did he gain altogether? Well, he was 175, now he's 190. and I want to find the difference between those two weights. So to find out how much he gained altogether, I'm going to have to subtract to find the difference. 190 pounds minus 175 pounds is 15. Now, I could write out the word pounds, or I could use the abbreviation for it, which is LB, which is a Latin abbreviation for Libra, which is pounds, but we don't need to worry about that. He gained 15 lb pounds altogether. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay. Now, the next one. If Mike gained the same amount each month, how much did he gain each month? Same amount each month. Again, context clues. They're telling me that I have to divide my 15 pounds up over the 3 months. So 15 pounds divided by 3 months is 5 pounds. So Mike gained 5 pounds per month. Per is one of my favorite words. It means for one. So if I'm using it for months, it's for 1 month. So per month. That's going to come in a lot. That's like a little abbreviation that we're going to use a lot this year. Daryl played a game that has 4 stages. That's important. Daryl scored 50, -85, -12, and 93 in each of the 4 stages. What is Daryl's average score? Okay, Daryl's average score. I'm going to have to come over here and figure out how to find an average. So these are his scores, and I'm going to just take my red pen and make these negatives a little more negative so you can see them better. And now I'm going to write down how to find an average. Average, what you do is you take each of the data points. These are data points. When you have a bunch of different numbers that you're working with, those are data points. So you add the data points. You could say data if you want, but I like data. Add the data points. Then divide by the number of data points. A lot of people like to know what their average in math is, and you can find it yourself. Just take all your grades, you're going to add them together, and divide by the number of grades you've received. That's going to be your average. But that might not be the average you get on a report card because you get a weighted average. Quizzes and tests are weighted more than, say, a homework. So if you add all your grades together and you don't take into account the fact that you get more credit for a test than you do for a homework assignment, you're going to have the wrong average. But right now we're just doing a straight average. We're going to take Daryl's score, 50, plus -85, plus -12, plus 93, and we're going to divide that answer by 4. Now, I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to put all those numbers in here on my calculator because I'm a little lazy. So in order to put a fraction on the calculator, you hit numerator over denominator, and I can put an equation there. I can do 50 plus, oh, I got to put it down here so I can see what I'm doing, negative, oh, I almost pressed the minus sign for negative. Down here, -85 plus -12 plus positive 93. And then on the bottom of my fraction, I want to put 4 because there's 4 data points. So when I put in the calculator, I have to make sure what's in the calculator is what's on my paper. Then I press enter, and I get a fraction. What did I get as a fraction? 22 over 2. If I hit double arrows, I should get 11 and 5/10. 23 over 2, Bono learned to read. Here we go, 11 and 5/10. So his average score is 11 and 5/10. Now, I don't know if those are points or what, but that's what he got in each of the 4 stages as an average. All right. Well, try the problems on page 15 yourself.